Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial. Throughout this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create a simple blogging application using Ruby on Rails. For those of you who aren't familiar with Ruby on Rails, it's just a web framework that was created in 2003 by David Heinemeier Hansson and has since become very popular among web developers, mainly because of its simplicity. If you don't have Ruby on Rails installed on your machine, please go to railsinstaller.org. I've left the link in the description. Just scroll down and depending on what machine you're using, download what you need. It has everything you need in one package, which makes it really simple. And please pause this video and download it and install it. Also, please install Sublime Text 2. I've left that link in the description also. Sublime Text is the text editor I use to write my Ruby on Rails applications, and it's generally the best out there, so I would highly suggest you download it. It'll make it easier for you to follow the tutorial, and just select whatever machine you're using here. So I'm assuming you've got all of that done, so let's get started. Now please open up your terminal. If you can't find it, it should be in the applications folder. If it's not, just do a spotlight search and you should find it. So let's generate our app. Assuming that you've downloaded everything correctly, you should be able to run a Rails new command. And what this is going to do is just basically create a new folder for our Rails project, and we're just going to call it blog press. So this is declaring that it's Rails, this is declaring that it's new, and this is declaring the name of the overall folder. And if you enter, you'll see that all of these files have been generated by the Rails application. So there's a README, app files, config files, database files, test files, and also all these other gems have been generated. So yeah, what we can do now is if you press Command K, that will just clear your terminal for you. It doesn't mean we've reversed what just happened, it just kind of clears it. And we're going to change directory and go into our blog press directory. So what you're going to do is type cd and the name of the project. So it's blog press. Oh, sorry. Yep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it in a development environment quickly just to show you if you've done it properly. So you want to type Rails server. You can even type Rails server, or you can type just Rails S. So Rails S is good, but I suggest you type Rails server just to kind of get used to the fact that you're generating the server. And it should generate these lines, which just basically let us know that the local server has been successful. So if we go to our browser and we go to localhost 3000, voila, we've been successful. So if you see this screen thus far, that means you've done everything right. If you haven't, please go back and follow the steps. If you're having trouble installing things, please read the website's documentation. It's really straightforward. And yeah, we've been successful in getting our Rails application off the ground. But you know, this is not what we want. This is just, you know, getting started. It has some instructions here. So I'm going to kill the server here. I'm going to open our Rails application. So let's open Sublime Text. So in your terminal, you can just type in Sublime. Actually, if you don't have that installed, the Sublime command line tools, then just go into your application folder and open Sublime Text. And yeah, so what we can do from here is basically we'll open our blog press application. Yep, and here it is. So it has all of the files here. So as you can see, it's generated assets, controllers, helpers, enablers, models, views in the app directory. And what the assets basically are all your things like style sheets, images, JavaScripts you might have. As I said, I'm assuming you have a working knowledge of CSS. This is where the CSS goes. So, and the Rails framework is based around the model view controller ideology. So I'll talk you through that. So what a model is it's basically a declaration of the features of an object. So let's say me myself was say I had a model, Romario.rb. In that model, I would have to declare all of my features. So my arms, my legs, my eyes, much like the model that we're going to create. So that might be a bit confusing. It will make sense when I show you. In a controller, you basically get to dictate how those features behave. So using me as an example again, in my personal controller, that's where I'll declare what type of clothes I wear, what type of food I eat, what type of things I like, how I choose to present myself. So in the controller, we'll declare how to present the application, which ordering things and stuff like that. And the view is just basically how we choose to lay it out. So that's where we link to the style sheet in the view, and we lay everything out. The DB folder, that's where we're gonna, our development database. Once we create a scaffold, that's where everything's going to go. The config directory, this just has initializers. And when later in the tutorial, when we start downloading gems, this config directory, we'll use it more. And this test directory is where we create automated tests. So as I said, once we've generated some objects, we're going to run tests on them to make sure that they work properly. And this is the gem file. So this is like, much like if you ever use WordPress, you can download plugins. This is kind of similar. You can download plugins that other developers have made to make your life easier when developing with Ruby on Rails. And another important place is the roots directory. This is where we're going to declare how the URLs are organized. As you can see, it has some examples here. Please read all of these. It's important. Read this one, read that one. This isn't really necessary to what we're going to do now. Okay, so let's generate the object. So we're going to say Rails generate scaffold blog underscore post. And what it's doing now is just going to generate all the files. So just to kind of break it down while we wait, this is declaring to Rails to generate a scaffold. So what this scaffold will do, it will include, oh here we go, it includes views. So this index view will include all the blog posts ever created. This show view will show the individual blog posts. This new view will take the user to a page where they can create a new blog post. This edit view will take them to a page where they can edit it. And this form will be embedded into the new route. And as you can see, it generates a controller. Now in this controller, what we'll be able to do is declare how we want it to behave. And it should have generated a model. Where is it? Yeah, at the top. Yep. So in the model, we're going to declare how it behaves and all of its features. So let's go into the model right now. So here we basically have everything we need here: the title, the body, and I'm going to declare a few other things that I'm going to touch on in later tutorials. So image link, that's going to be a link to an image, a featured image for the blog post. What else? Date. Actually, we don't need a date, we can use the timestamp. Is there anything else? We'll leave it as that for now. If we need to change anything, we'll change it. If you go into the DB folder, go into migrate, you see that it's created a database table for our new object blog posts. And here, this is very important, we need to declare everything that we've just declared in the model. So the title is going to be a string, the body is going to be text, long form text, and the image link is going to be a string, and we're also going to include the user ID, and that's going to be an integer because it's going to be a number. And this is something we'll come back to in a later tutorial. Don't worry about it now, and just add that to your model as well. Cool, so that's all sorted, and what we need to do now is rake the database. So what this basically does is it finalizes everything we've declared here, and it's going to make the table so we can start to submit information to it. So what you want to do is type in rake db migrate, rake db migrate, and hit enter, and it's going to create that table for us. There, create blog posts migrating, it's created it, and there we go. Now in the next tutorial I'm going to teach you how to configure the views, and the tutorial after that I'm going to teach you how to deal with user registration and things like that. So yeah, please comment, let me know if you think I'm going too fast, let me know and I'll slow down. Okay, alright, so follow me into the next video and we'll continue.